Hello and welcome to the COSO Self-Paced Lab Week. My name is Alexei, and please watch this video carefully because it will determine if you are able to progress with the content as it is intended without getting stuck or without experiencing any frustrations with the environments. Knowledge is the key, and we took a lot of effort in order to structure the training in a way that allows you to complete it without interference. First of all, this course takes about 4 days to complete. If you postpone it to later, there will be a really low probability of being able to complete it. Second thing, the documentation access was already sent to you, and you will be able to see this video only if you have access to the documentation site, but let me show you how to use it first. When you go there for the first time, you'll definitely need to register by clicking one of the buttons, doesn't matter. Then you'll go to OpsBridge section, and then you'll see that the current seasonal training is OpsBridge COSO Self-Paced Training Lab. When you go on the inside, notice that there are several tabs, and each tabs have a different set of instructions for you to follow. Please understand the function of every tab before you proceed. First of all is lab setup, support, and certification. You need to complete all of those steps sequentially in order to start and operate your environment. We will review it later. In the exercises, you'll notice that there are YouTube videos. Those are the recordings from live event, followed by exercises. Please watch the YouTube video and perform exercises in an exact order as you see them here. They will determine your understanding of the exercises and your ability to perform them properly and successfully. Do not skip. If you are familiar with all of those contents, this is fantastic, but please make sure that you are not missing things. Most probably when you will need some support, the support will just tell you to look at the video or at the exercises at some places that were missed. There are overall about 14 exercises and videos between them. When you need some information about URLs and passwords and host credentials and everything else, there is a dedicated tab for that. And when the documentation tells you to go to OBM, you go here, you find OBM, and you go there. If it tells you to go to BVD, you'll see that BVD runs on master, and it will include this URL over here. Presentations that you see in the videos will appear here as downloadable assets. And in addition to the exercises, there were excellent troubleshooting guides delivered to us by R&D and professionals, and I encourage you to watch them by the end of the week. They were the pinnacle of the live training. This is where questions were asked. This is where understandings were reached. Those are not just videos for information. When you'll be able to work in the field on the topics that you learned and you'll have troubleshooting questions, when you will be stuck, the information is included in those 4 videos. Next, how to access a user environment. In the email that you received, you'll get a set of instructions about how to get there, but in addition, there is also information about it in the lab setup. In the connecting to your environment section will point you into the Blueshift site where we'll be logging in with the OpsBridge Shared Training username and the password that was sent to you by email. Like so over here, I already have it saved. You will go on the inside. And it's very important. In case you have a browser that doesn't support the latest technology, for example, an not updated Firefox, Internet Explorer, or any other browsers that are not in the Chromium family up to date, please switch to Chromium-based browsers. Another important thing, in case your machine scales up the display in a way that is just zoomed in like 150% or something like that, or if your screen is not full HD, this is the full HD resolution, you will have a little bit of a difficulty operating the environment in a very small window. I recommend using or full resolution or external screen, or using the methodology that I'm going to show you a little bit later, to how to scale your environment window in order to see everything on the inside. This is very important. If your screen is very small to operate products that expect to show in full screen, anything like that, this is not going to be a smooth experience. We go to subscriptions and orders in order to access your environment. Each of you get an assigned environment number. Please go only to the one that belongs to you and do not confuse with others. Otherwise, you might be interfering with somebody else's work. I will go to test environment number 33 over here. And when you go on the inside, there is click to connect button. Now, in case your screen resolution is lower than full HD, or if your scaling is above 125%, I recommend going into full screen. Right click the browser and you go to full screen, or go to one of the menus in your browser or click F11. All of those would increase the screen size to full screen, like so. And then you click on the connect button. Please do it first, go to full screen and then click to connect. This is when the resolution of your RDP connection that you're going to see in a second is not satisfactory. When you click to connect, a new window will open. This is called a guacamole window. And in a minute or so, it will set up your account for the first time. This is how it's supposed to look like with proper resolution. In case you experience resolution issues, you can go to full screen. In order to exit the full screen window, press Control, Alt, and Shift in the window. It will bring a menu which allows you to right-click and go from full screen or not full screen. To close the panel, Control, Alt, Shift once more. Very important, if you experience connectivity issues, if it's slow, please turn off your VPNs, switch off the corporate network and switch to normal internet. This site is available in the overall normal internet, and many corporate networks would exclude it because it is unfamiliar to you. This includes microfocus employees that might experience it in various sites all over the world. Once you are connected to your environment, you need to set up your lab and get familiar with the environment. Go into this section and perform the steps as they are. In case when you go on the inside and your products do not work, this would be because you missed this specific section. Please do not skip the steps and perform them one by one. The reason is the environments are cloned. They are based on a specific environment that was built and then they were replicated many times. Replication in enterprise software has repercussions, and it has axioms that apply to your environment that needs to be corrected. And this is one of the procedures that would set the environment to a state that allows you to work with it. Unfortunately, there are no automations that we can employ in order to overcome this using the tools that we have. Please configure the proxy, the security exceptions, and you need to start your own lab machines. This procedure is referenced twice, once in this guide or separately in this guide. You need to power on your internal machines. They are not powered on at the moment. If you go to the product, they would not be turned on because the products right now are turned off. In case you are not familiar with how to use mRemote-ng, that is referenced here, this is what we use in order to access the machines, then you need to go to the section in the reference material that says first-time users, how to use mRemote-ng. This is very important. It speeds up your process substantially. If you're comfortable with using only PuTTY and everything, this is fine. However, when you are using mRemote-ng, it's much faster, and the timing of the lab performance was based on performing in this specific tool. So please do not take it lightly. How to turn on your machines? You go to dedicated procedure, which will tell you that that procedure works only if you perform steps in procedure number 1. You'll go into Chrome, you'll go to this URL, and you log in there using one of the two methods, either by using a plugin that might work or might not work, depends on a set of extra circumstances, and or you can do it manually by taking the password from here and using the student account exactly as it is listed in this procedure. You need to specify the domain. Then you'll go and you'll have full access to your environments. You can power them on and power them off, and you can revert them back from snapshot. For example, if you have made a mistake and you don't want to repeat the steps, you just right click and you can revert to snapshot. And this would allow you to start over from the specific exercises. Okay, this is what we do. Then we will progress to the exercises. How to troubleshoot. When you perform the exercises, the information about what you need to do and how to correct it wouldn't be included in the videos that are supplemental to them, and they are sequenced exactly like so, or by going back and forward through the exercises and repeating the steps. We understand there are many steps to follow, and those steps are very demanding on your attention, and you might just jump a page or two. And it's completely natural, but when you get stuck, please go back a little bit and see if you performed all of the steps and your responses on your screen are all matching the screenshots. All screenshots are supporting of the text that is written, so you have double confirmation about what you need to see. When you get stuck and you see that it might be a problem with exercise, sometimes in the comment section below, you'll see some comments from previous students that might solve it for you. We do try to accommodate their suggestions and feedbacks, but still it might be something from somebody else that noticed it simultaneously with you, and it might be helpful to you. So please scroll down and see what is going on the inside. Also, I recommend going to mft.com documentation site from inside your remote from your Access VM or from your jump server. This is very important because you will be able to copy paste text more cleanly and more precisely, and this will speed up your process and enhance your learning experience. When you go to mremote and G over here and enable it, you might notice that there are RDP and SSH sessions in it. We'll see them in a second. So you need to be very careful when you read documentations. When we tell you to RDP to something or to SSH to any host, we mean that you go to mremote-ng and you connect to the internal server. When we tell you to operate the product in a browser, we always mean the Access VM itself and nothing in the mremote-ng. Please do not open a product GUI or product UI from inside mremote-ng. The servers are not built to accommodate for various technologies that we use in order to view the GUI, like Java or HTML5 supporting browsers. So when we tell you to go and open OBM in Chrome, we don't mean to go to OBM here and open Chrome on the inside. We mean to go to the Access VM itself and open Chrome and log into the product from there. When you need support, please refer to the support section in the very first tab. Okay, you need to take a full screenshot of the problem. Please do not take small snippets. Take a full screen screenshot, because I would be looking at the URL that you're using, at the environment number, at the resolution and the size of your screen to see what kind of issues you're experiencing. So if you have a little bit of a problem or something small in the middle of the screen, that's not all the information that we need in order to support you. Please take a full screen screenshot and send it to us in email without changing the screenshot size. This is very important. This allows me to answer immediately to your needs rather than investigating and reiterating communication more and more. You need to send the email not directly to me, but to the PDL over here. I'm not the only support person, and I'm not an expert on every single piece of the exercises. There are more people that can support you, and we switch between each other. So it's very important to reach out to this PDL and not only to me. Although you'll see most of the communication from me, still, I'm not the only guy there. And some people know something about exercises that I do not. Very important. If you want to get certified, you need to send me by the end of the week, only once, a set of 6 out of those possible screenshots. It says 4 out of 6. I'll fix it later. It's 4 out of 5. And those are the opportunities for you to complete an exercise and send me the screenshot of the result. Please notice it takes, you need to send me a full screenshot. I need to understand that it comes from your environment and I need it for logging backwards. Okay. And certificates would be issued within 2 weeks, more or less, after you submit them. It's not an immediate process. We use an external team that helps us with determining, with logging the logistics for certification. Now, the environment would be reverted on Friday afternoon, okay, or it would be Friday or US time morning, or afternoon in Europe, or it would be late night in Asia. But on Fridays we need to revert them because next week there will be more students that need to use those environments. The password would be changed, the machines would be returned to their initial state. This is why it's very important that you take the course and start it as soon as you can, so you'll have enough time to get support and complete the exercises. This concludes the briefing, and thank you, and enjoy your lab week.